TikTok, we say a big good afternoon to you. We are also very loud and live on channel 277 on DSTV, on radio at 94.1 FM. Go on there, tune in and listen. In case you are living home, don't feel left out. You definitely get to listen to us, whether on your phone or even on radio, 94.1 FM. I am Bright Nanakwesi Amani, and this afternoon is a bit packed. I will tell you what we'll be dealing with. But before that, my colleague Kwesi Kwetia is on standby with the latest stories from around the country, looking very sharp. Kwesi.
Good afternoon to you, Bright.
Good afternoon to you. You look sharp, very, very sharp.
Thank you very much. I'm learning from you.
Oh, how? Take it away.
All right, so let's take a look at the headlines for this afternoon. Labour Minister Rashid Velpo underscores the critical role of Zoomlion Ghana Limited in Ghana's sanitation space while advancing the proposed 24-hour economic policy, describing the company as a model enterprise capable of driving employment creation and economic productivity. Travel advisory sent out to Ghanaians to exercise extreme caution when traveling or residing in Mexico following escalating security tensions in parts of the country. Statistics on death related to road traffic crashes in the first 2 months of the year 2026 raised alarm on much needed enforcement of road safety regulations and measures. We will engage experts on this. Welcome back, and let's go to our first story. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has issued a travel advisory urging Ghanaians to exercise extreme caution when traveling to or residing in Mexico following escalating security tensions in parts of the country. The advisory released to the media follows a major security operations by the Mexican forces on February 22nd, 2026, which reportedly resulted in the death of one of their widely known, who is also known as El Mecho, and identified as the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel.
According to the Ghanaian government, the incident has triggered coordinated retaliatory attacks by cartel elements across several Mexican states, heightening safety concerns for foreign nationals, including Ghanaians. In the advisory circular, the government urged Ghanaian citizens in affected areas to limit their movements, remain vigilant, and avoid non-essential travel until the situation stabilizes. The unrest has reportedly been characterized by armed clashes, road blockades, and the burning of vehicles, resulting in casualties and significant disruption to daily life. The advisory specifically identified several locations experiencing heightened tensions, including Jalisco, Baja California, Colima, Guanajuato, Michoacan, and Oaxaca. Officials cautioned that the evolving security situation could disrupt transportation, business operations, and access to public services. The ministry further advised Ghanaians within the jurisdiction to maintain close contact with the Embassy of Ghana in Washington, D.C., which is accredited to Mexico for consular support. Citizens were encouraged to seek assistance from the mission in cases involving travel difficulties, security concerns, or emergency evacuation needs.
And away from that, the Ghana Revenue Authority has interdicted 5 officers of its custom division with immediate effect over alleged procedural breaches. The action follows preliminary findings from an enforcement operation involving transit cargo to Niger. There's more in this report.
Management of the Ghana Revenue Authority says the interdiction is pending the outcome of an internal investigation. According to a press release issued on February 24, 2026, the decision stems from an enforcement operation conducted on February 18, 2026. The operation involved a consignment of transit cargo declared for onward movement to Niger. The authority says discrepancies were detected in documentation and compliance with established transit procedures. Initial assessments point to potential procedural breaches, prompting a detailed and independent internal review. GRA notes that the investigation will establish the full facts, including the extent of any individual involvement and possible departures from customs protocols. It adds that additional officers may be invited to assist the probe where necessary. The authority assures stakeholders and the general public that the move reflects its commitment to protecting national revenue, supporting local industries, and promoting economic development. It further emphasizes the appropriate administrative action which will be taken in accordance with applicable laws once investigations are concluded.
And in other stories, the Ghana Police Service has warned the public about a fake electronic traffic violation notice circulating online. According to the police, the notice is not genuine. It is said that the message is false, fraudulent, and invalid, and not coming from the service.
In a statement, the service said it had noted with deep concern a viral electronic notice of violation of traffic offense, supposedly from the Ghana Police Service, which informs individuals that they have committed traffic offenses and must make payments. The service has also warned those responsible for creating and sharing the false message. It cautioned that all persons circulating these notifications must stop immediately, describing the act as a serious criminal offense. The statement added that anyone found behind the circulation of the fake notice will face the law. Perpetrators will be arrested and brought to justice, the service said. Meanwhile, the Ghana Police Service disclosed that it is working with several key institutions on plans to introduce an automated traffic law enforcement system.
Let's take a look now at violence in senior high schools, as violence among senior high school students is raising serious concern across Ghana, from the fatal stabbing of Kimbu SHS to the brutal assault of an Obrache SHS student. The incidents are fueling debate on whether corporal punishment should be reconsidered in schools. Here is a report by Ikuya Abebio.
The recent clash involving an Obrache SHS student during an inter-schools athletics competition is the latest in the worrying trend of student violence, but certainly not the first. In 2025 alone, separate deadly and destructive incidents of violence occurred involving students from Kimbu SHS, Kumasi Technical Institute, Kumasi Anglican SHS, Salaga SHS, Islamic Senior High School, Sokode Senior High School, and Kede Senior High Technical School. In 2026, however, the violence shows no sign of abating. On Friday, February 13, 2026, students from Fafraha Senior High School returned to the West Africa Senior High School with thugs on motorbikes, attacking teachers with sticks after the teachers confronted unauthorized students who had entered the school during class hours. These incidents, coupled with others, have sparked a renewed debate over whether banning all forms of corporal punishment in schools has caused more harm than good.
I was once a student. I benefited from this corporal punishment, and I felt that the way and the nature it was handled, we should upgrade it. There should be a very comprehensive way dealing with issues of discipline so that it doesn't escalate. If you want to discipline a child, let a child realize that discipline is transformative. It's not to punish you or to inflict pain on you.
Sandra Ofosuampofo, an editor at Metro TV, has expressed her views as a parent.
From our various African Ghanaian homes, I believe that we've come to know that there are certain stubborn attitudes of children that can only be dealt with by using the cane. And as a Christian parent, one of my beliefs is that spare the rod and spoil the child. And so, with these two principles that I believe in, that there are certain stubbornness of children that can only be dealt with the king, and then not sparing the rod to spoil the child, I believe that at a point in time, caning must still be encouraged.
As concerns over violence in senior high schools continue to grow, the conversation around discipline and school safety is far from over. Ekia Babu, Metro News.
And that was my colleague Ekia Abebu there with a report on violence in SHS senior high schools. All right, so let's look at other stories now. The Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment, Rashid Belpo, has underscored the critical role of private sector sanitation companies in advancing Ghana's proposed 24-hour economy policy. He describes Zoomlion Ghana Limited as a model enterprise capable of driving employment creation and economic productivity. The minister made the remarks during a working visit to the Accra Compost and Recycling Plant on Tuesday, 24th February 2026.
The visit formed part of government's broader research agenda aimed at strengthening labor conditions, enhancing worker welfare, and supporting private sector participation in Ghana's economic transformation. Dr. Rashid Belpo explained that the engagement was intended to deepen government understanding of occupational hazards within the waste management sector, worker welfare concerns and challenges faced by private operators in assessing government incentives and institutional support. He stressed that waste management companies play an important role in safeguarding public health while simultaneously providing large-scale employment opportunities.
We need to find out what kind of occupational hazards are here that are being addressed. We want to find out how the workers are faring. We also want to find out what challenges they have. Is commitment of government to create more value and to support private businesses to rise. I've been given a very good briefing about the Zoomlion experience and their spread, 76 subsectors, 76, subsidiaries, huge investment areas spread all over the country. And this is something that is impressive. We hope that they can invest more, create more situations for our young people. They told me they got up to a point when they had engaged about 200,000 Ghanaians. This is wonderful.
Highlighting the government's proposed 24-hour economy policy, the minister indicated that companies capable of sustaining continuous operations would receive strategic attention and support. He emphasized that facilities such as ACAP could benefit substantially from policies aimed at boosting productivity through round-the-clock operations.
We are in a reset agenda, committed to supporting the 24-hour economy to rise and start functioning. And so people like Zoomlion or organizations like Zoomlion are targeted areas that we can show our commitments. And so part of this visit will enable us to appreciate what they are doing. Yeah, we are not compelling people to rush to go into it, but we provide incentives for anybody who wants to go into it. And we think that there's a huge potential with Zoomlion. With everything they are doing, they have a huge potential.
The Chief Operating Officer of the Environment and Sanitation Cluster of the Just One Group of Companies, Florence Labi, highlighted the company's transformation over the past 2 decades. The Managing Director of Zoomlion Ghana Limited, Doris Kwekwo Ejei, expressed appreciation to the Minister and his delegation, describing the visit as a strong affirmation of collaboration between government and the private sector.
Your visit reaffirms that the value of partnership between government and the private sector is very high. So we say a big thank you to you once again. We promise and we assure you that we will not just clean Ghana, but we would ensure that we develop and build a disciplined, motivated workforce that can contribute to the Ghana economy.
Other management members of the Just One Group present included Executive Director of the Environment and Sanitation Cluster, Mrs. Gloria Opoku Anti, Chief Corporate Communications Officer, Ms. Sofia Kujoji, General Manager of ACAP, Mr. Paddy Tuo, Director of Communications and Corporate Affairs, Ms. Emma Adjoa Apia Oseidria, and Public Relations Manager, Mr. Ernest Morgan Aqua, amongst others.
And as International Zero Waste Day approach, a major step towards tackling plastic pollution has been taken as stakeholders unite to strengthen awareness, coordination and action on waste management through a new partnership agreement.
A stakeholders meeting on plastic waste management has brought together Praxis Africa, partners and Ignite Media to deepen collaboration in public education, media engagement and community outreach programs slated for 2026. The gathering, which also featured the signing of a memorandum of understanding, focused on aligning efforts, avoiding duplication and building a unified strategy to promote responsible waste practices and the zero waste future. At the event, Managing Director of the Ignite Media Group, Von Klaus-Bakestein, says sustained public education will be key to changing attitudes and ensuring plastic waste management becomes a national priority.
So we just signed an agreement with Praxis Africa on the plastic waste management agenda. There will be a media dialogue in March with all the stakeholders involved. The ministry is responsible for environment and sanitation, trade, and Praxis Africa itself. Our 2026 plans are focusing on the environment and sanitation. So for us, everything sanitation and environment, we jump at it. And which is the reason why we see this as the biggest opportunity to also give to the country what we can to ensure that our environment is clean in respect of environment and sanitation. So we are here because it's our focus, and we are dedicating a chunk of our airtime towards sanitation and environment. And so we are happy to inform you that our sister company, Zoomla, is also behind us, providing the resources that they have available so we can do it together to achieve a common goal.
Country Director of Praxis Africa, Ghana, Ojigu Kranchi Wuntumi II, emphasized that collaboration and shared resources will be critical to turning policy discussions into practical community-level impact.
Every year, end of the March, let's say 30th or 31st, is the International Zero Waste Day. And as such, there must be activities. And one of them is the media dialogue we are trying to come out with come 31st March, which is, I think, a month from today. The main reason is to create awareness on how we can manage and sustain the management of our plastic waste. Because one, we have to think of circular economy. We need to think of the hazard that it will be caused when it gets to our oceans and stuff like that. So if we can make money out of plastics, why do we wait till it causes problems to us? So all what we are doing is the education and awareness dimension of sustaining plastics use.
Stakeholders highlighted the importance of collective ownership, stressing that lasting solutions would depend on active participation from communities, institutions and industry players. With a renewed commitment sealed through partnership and dialogue, stakeholders say the next phase will focus on translating ideas into action as Ghana intensifies efforts to reduce plastic pollution and promote environmental responsibility. Reporting for Metro News, I am Vanessa Edotumboating, Ignite Media, Accra.
February 24th, 2026 marks 60 years since the government of Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana.
So I am against that bombing and attempt to kill him, killing innocent kids and all that. That I'm against it. I'm also not happy that it got to a point that he became a one-party state, because then that takes away the opportunity for others to also express themselves. Right. You know, just as we have here now, I can criticize this government and live freely without being vulgar or insulting. You know, so that has been my challenge. But in all, Moro, it will be disingenuous on my part to sit here that Nkrumah was not great. Indeed, he was, and I think there are certain things we are experiencing and enjoying now that manifest that indeed he had a very incredible foresight. There's no doubt about that. That you have to give to him. Absolutely, there's no doubt about that. I mean, Moro, I don't know whether I've been to Akosombo.
Right.
you should take your time and go deep down to see how the water turns the turbine, and how that turning of the turbine generates electricity. And this was done in 1950s, 1960s. So the vision itself is an incredible one, and I don't think anybody should downplay the effort that Nkrumah played in our development. There are a lot of industries that we see today that Nkrumah.
There's still talk, about the one-party state and so on, as if Nkrumah sat in his room and then one day he decided that he wanted to be monarch of all that he surveyed and declared a one-party state. It's not true. There was a referendum. The people of Ghana overwhelmingly voted for the one-party state. It was not a decision that Nkrumah made by himself or by his party. There was a national referendum on the one-party state. That's one side. Now, the other side is that virtually, all the African, Latin American, and Asian states and so on who gained independence from the late 1940s up to the 50s and so on were one-party states. So ask yourself, why? All of them were one-party states. So how is that an Nkrumah problem? Why don't we see that as a phenomenon which grew out of the struggle for independence and the aspirations of our people, rather than blame it on Nkrumah? All of the states, all, with the exception of a few, were one-party states. So when La Côte d'Ivoire became a one-party state, was that Nkrumah's fault? When Kenya became a one-party state, was that also Nkrumah's fault? This is the poverty of analysis. Clear poverty of analysis.
All right, so it's been 60 years since Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown, and that was the discussion there between our wonderful panelists, and they are telling us their views on what happened. And we're going to move away from that as we look at other stories. A brand new vehicle has been donated to Pan-African Heritage World Museum in a significant show of support for Ghana's growing cultural and heritage sector. The addition of the new vehicle is expected to improve mobility for staff and facilitate the transportation of artifacts and coordination of events across various regions.
The vehicle was presented by CEO of Swanee Group, Tommy Swanikia, who urged private and corporate institutions to support the museum's vision of preserving and promoting Ghana's history and heritage.
I'm very convinced that Professor Yanka is making an impact with this heritage museum, because our future is linked to our heritage and our future for development is linked to our past. So I thought this little venture for administrative vehicle will help, achieve that. Plus, the private sector and other corporate entities in Ghana should follow the path of giving to help develop the economy and the society.
Founder and chairman of the museum, Kojo Yanka, expressed gratitude to the donors and supporters who continue to back the project.
The Pan-African Heritage World Museum has been a project ongoing for the past 3 years. We have launched the digital part of the museum online, and it's up for people to go there and see. So we are now raising funds to build the physical one on Pomazi Hills near Winneba Junction. And lots of people are expressing interest, not just in getting the museum done, but also in helping us to move forward. So it covers a wide area, and therefore we consider that when we finish it, it's some place that almost every African would want to send their child to come and learn that history, because there's none. There's no place. If with our year of return we had a place like that, we know that that would be the place a lot of people will go to.
Founded to reclaim and present African history from African perspectives, The Pan-African Heritage World Museum is one of Ghana's most ambitious cultural initiatives. With a new vehicle added to its fleet, the Pan-African Heritage World Museum is expected to enhance its operational reach as it works toward becoming a world-class heritage institution rooted in Ghana.
And in the area of religion, the Kita Akachi Catholic Diocese in the Volta region has commemorated the 34th World Day of the Sick by recognizing and awarding dedicated health workers who have distinguished themselves through hard work and commitment to healthcare delivery across various facilities within the diocese. All right, so this is a way to encourage them so that others would follow. And it's all about patting their backs just to let them know that this is the way to go and ensuring that they do the best that they can concerning issues like this. All right, so we're going to move away from that as we look at other stories that are coming up. And we're going to look at the Ho Municipal Assembly, and the executive for Ho, Stephen Adom, has assured residents of the Ho municipality of his commitment to bring in more developmental projects across sectors. According to him, the Assembly is poised to deliver on the government Resetting Ghana agenda, which is already impacting the whole municipality positively.
The team, led by the Municipal Chief Executive Stephen Adom and the Member of Parliament for Ho Central, Edem Kofi Potosu, accompanied by Assembly engineers and other stakeholders, engaged community members and inspected several ongoing projects across various communities in the municipality. The projects, which are at various stages of completion, include CHPS compound at Bamefudo, 6-unit classroom block at the Volta Technical Institute at Mache, 2-unit nurses' quarters at Mache, 2-unit nurses' quarters at Tukokoi, 3-unit classroom block with ancillary facilities at Spenoi, 6-unit classroom block at Nieve, and a 3-unit classroom block at Hojo Alavanyo. Speaking to the media during the tour, the Municipal Chief Executive for Ho, Stephen Adom, assured residents of more of such projects and appealed for continued support from the people to ensure accelerated development.
This is what we are doing. It should tell you that in the next coming year, we are going to do a little more than what you are seeing within this year. So just pray for us, for God to grant us good health, so that we'll push a lot of things, apart from common farm projects, we'll push a lot of things to the municipality.
The Home Municipal Engineer, Prosper Foleche, expressed satisfaction with the pace of work, emphasizing that quality had not been compromised. He indicated that the projects are likely to be completed ahead of schedule.
We have about 8 projects ongoing awarded by the Assembly in December. We handed over the site to them, and within 6-month period, they are supposed to hand over the project to us. But where we have reached now, they are far ahead of time, and they'll be completing the project before the end of the project period, which is the 6 months. The first site, second site, I think this is the 4th site we are. They have roofed within 2 months. So by 1.5 or maximum of 2 months, they will hand over.
And that's it for the afternoon news. My name is Nana Kwesi Kwichia. Over to Bright Nana Kwesi Ameni.
Nana Kwesi Kwichia, thank you so much for that news update there. So don't you go anywhere. Stay with us here on Good Afternoon Ghana, live on DSTV channel 277 across all social media platforms, and also very live and loud on your radio dial 94.1. Go on there in case you're out, listen to us, and keep up with us here on the program. Stay with us here. After the break, our conversations will begin. We are talking about the importers and exporters are not happy. They are complaining and asking questions as to why they have been neglected from a number of meetings that government has held with the private sector, and also looking at road issues here in the country as well. So stay with us here on Good Afternoon Ghana. After the break, all of this will be given to you.
Branch manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
It's time to believe in you. We are changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high. Dare to dream with Puma drinks. Puma, Puma. Yeah, believe it, you can achieve. Puma, Puma. Oh yeah, clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make me set the Puma. Oh yeah, come alive. Puma, Puma. Let me hear you. Puma.
Puma drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advert is FDA approved.
The Ghana Trade Fair Company is proud to announce the most anticipated shopping event of the year, the Eid Al-Fitr Grand Sales 2026, from Wednesday 18th March to Monday 23rd March 2026 at the prestigious West Hills Mall. Discover stunning fashion, exquisite jewelry, luxurious fragrances, innovative gadgets, and beautiful homeware, all at incredible sales prices. Showcase your product to thousands of eager shoppers during this peak festive season. Register now for your best spot. Contact the Ghana Trade Fair Company Limited 0597 423 304 or 0244 469 451 or 050 2500 632. Fancy Gadam will be performing live at the fair. Celebrate it in style. Eid Al-Fitr Grand Sales 2026. Partners: Ghana Enterprise Agency, Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Media Partners, UTV, Peace FM, Kasapa FM, Metro TV, Bina TV, Channel 1 TV.
And thank you for staying with us here on Good Afternoon, Ghana. Welcome back from that very short break. I'll be connecting to my colleague Vanessa Editom-Boateng in a few seconds, but let me tell you what is happening and why she is where she is as we speak. Now, the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition has officially commissioned MBH Power Ghana's new energy meters manufacturing plant in Tema. With Sector Minister Dr. John Abdullahi Jinapor describing the facility as a major step toward strengthening local production capacity and advancing Ghana's energy sector. And so that is where my colleague is, Vanessa Editom-Boateng is there, and we are getting to her, I beg your pardon, for a quick conversation as to what exactly is happening. These are visuals from the event. As can see in your shot, that is the Minister for Energy and Green Transition, Honorable Minister Dr. John Abdullahi Jinapor, who is there inspecting all the machines and meters that are probably may be coming on the market. And speaking of meters and their issues, just this morning, Franklin Kujo, who is Director for Imani Ghana has been talking. You know, I think he's added his voice to many of us who have been complaining about how fast our monies are being taken with these meters. We'll talk about that. But let's go back on the lines and speak with Vanessa Edutum Boateng, who is currently with the Minister for Energy and Green Transition, Honorable Dr. Abdullahi Jinapor. What is happening, Vanessa? Speak to us. Where are you now and what exactly is happening?
Right. At Tema. So we came here with the...
Hello, Vanessa.
Yes, can you hear me?
Right, so you try to adjust the lines and get back.
Can you hear me?
Vanessa Edutum Boateng is with the Minister for Energy and Green Transition.
Hello?
John Abdullah. Yes, Vanessa, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Bright. Can you hear me?
Great. Where are you now and what is happening there?
Yes, I'm currently at MBH, right here in Tema. They produce prepaid meters. Now, we came here with the Deputy Energy Minister and then the Energy Minister also. And the Energy Minister, though he was on the run for another assignment, briefed us shortly before he left. Now, he says that the MBH production is expected to create jobs, to reduce dependence on imports, and also enhance revenue mobilization and strengthen the country's supply chain. He also emphasized that government remains committed to creating an enabling environment for industry growth and private sector participation. So according to him, projects of this nature are critical to positioning Ghana as a competitive player in the global energy and industry space. Well, he noted that beyond infrastructure, the long-term goal is to stimulate actually local production capacity and also ensure sustainable economic benefits for citizens. Now, the Deputy Minister of Energy, he addressed us also that the growing public concerns regarding the quick depletion of prepaid electricity credits by consumers across parts of the country should be looked into. In fact, earlier this week, the Energy Minister said investigation should be conducted into that. So, yes, of course, right at the MBH, production of the prepaid meters. And so this is what has been going on right here in Tema, right? If you can hear me.
And like you mentioned, when are we expecting to see these new ones on the market?
Though timeline has not been given because production is still ongoing, they have not given us a timeline to when we are supposed to see this in the market, but they have answered questions that it is to curb some of the growing concerns and menace going across the country.
So there is an issue and questions about why the need for these new prepaid meters when we had new ones just about a year ago. Why are we so in a hurry to produce new ones? Is it because there are complaints that probably the prepaid meters in our homes are taking more of our monies?
Well, while the Energy Minister did not concretely answer that question, he made mention that these current meters should be able to account for the complaints that have been raised by citizens, especially on how fast the prepaid meters go, like are depleted, and also concerns about illegal connections and how people tamper with prepaid meters. The Energy Minister mentioned that these new meters should be able to, cater for things like this. So, of course, hopefully we are expecting that once they are out, some of these growing concerns, we shouldn't see them anymore.
Right. And just like we've been told by Vanessa, according to the Minister, these new meters should help us address some of the issues, and that's when they are finally out there, a lot of these issues will be solved. We agree with Vanessa. Vanessa Edutum Boateng is our reporter here at Metro TV, and she was on the trip all the way in Tema with the Minister for Energy and Green Transition, together with his deputy, the Minister in person of Dr. Abdullahi Abu Jinapor, with his deputy, who were there, to inspect this manufacturing company, NBH Ghana, who are manufacturing new prepaid meters. So, as I was telling you earlier, In the mornings of today, Franklin Cudjoe, who is president for Imani Ghana, had something to say about prepaid and how probably his prepaid that he bought at an amount of 1,500 Ghana cedi got finished in less than 20 days. I stand to be corrected, but I'm trying to get the exact statement from him and why he's worried. He said, so this was posted, okay, it was posted an hour ago, so I could say around 11 a.m. today. And he says, I just bought 500 cedis at 10:35 a.m. 10:35 a.m. Moku the watch, only two relatives new fridges, only two relatively new fridges are on from now until 5 p.m. But that's what he actually posted earlier. He says, I can confirm that meters are stealing our power. My daily consumption until my birthday on February 16th was 21 Ghana cedis. I purchased 1,500 cedis on February 16th at exactly 9:07 a.m. this morning. All the credits are gone. Zero. I beg, Jinapo, make you investigate fast, or I buy new power where it finish pass you same boat. I go disconnect them and do illegal connection. Please forgive us, Franklin. Don't get to illegal connection yet. Forgive us. Like we've been told by Vanessa, the minister says when these new meters are out, a lot of these issues will be fixed. But if you don't know what you are talking about, take a look at this story.
Over the years, ECG has faced problems with old meters, billing issues, and occasional system errors. However, the sudden high tariff in recent days are leaving many people struggling to pay for its basic use. Some residents share their frustrations, highlighting the impact on daily life.
We have a serious problem. Some of us use only one fridge and one fan, but when we buy prepaid credits worth 150 cedis, it doesn't even last a week before it gets finished.
And 3 days, and 4 days, 2 years time, but last year, this year, you say boats,
2 years ago, prepaid credits lasted longer, but now 50 cedi lasts only about a week and a day. So we are pleading to the government to work on this issue.
Nowadays, the way the prepaid is going, it seems like we the vendors, we are part of the way the light is going nowadays. So you beg for the leaders, for them to reduce, maybe if they have increased the amount, they should reduce it for us so that you won't get any trouble for the customers.
Those of us using prepaid electricity are really suffering. At first, when we buy 10 cedis or 20 cedis credits, it lasted for some time. But now, as soon as we buy it, it gets finished within a short time.
Executive Director of the Center for Environmental Management and Energy, Benjamin Nsia, alleges that the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission used intentional and inflated projections for the exchange rate to set higher tariffs than necessary.
The issue is that the main macroeconomic factors used in certain tariffs have been overprojected or overestimated, and for that matter, the electricity end user is overpaying for the price of electricity. In May, on 3rd May specifically, when the first and second quarter tariff adjustments were done, they used 15 Ghana cedis, 69 pesos to the dollar to set a price. They use an exchange inflation of about 25% average for the year. However, when we got to 3rd quarter, we realized that the cedi had appreciated by about 32%.
And there you have it. I mean, people talking, complaining already about how they are being affected, their businesses are being affected by the amount of money they are spending and also intermittent power supply. Hopefully there are ways to fix all of this. But away from that, my first guest, in-studio guest, has joined me already. in the person of Samson Asaki Awingobet, who is Executive Secretary to the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, IEAJ, and they are demanding answers over repeated exclusion from meetings. Now, so take a listen to this. There's a press statement they've released. I'm going to give you what exactly they are saying. Then I come back to the studio to have a conversation with him at what exactly they are looking for and some other issues that he or the outfit want to address. So take a look at this on your screen. There's IEA Presidential Private Sector Dialogue. The Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, IEAJ, wishes to express its utmost displeasure at the presidency following our exclusion from the recent presidential dialogue with the private sector convened by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. We note the President's call for bold partnerships to accelerate economic growth, his vision of positioning Ghana as West Africa's production hub, and his encouragement to businesses to leverage the presence of the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat to expand trade and industrialization. While we fully align with these objectives, it is deeply concerning that a key stakeholder such as the IEAJ was once again not invited to participate in this critical national dialogue. This is the second time such a presidential dialogue has been organized since the president assumed office a year ago without the inclusion of the IEAJ. Following last year's exclusion, we formally sought clarification and were informed that it was an error on the part of the presidential team. The reassurance of the same situation this year makes it difficult for us to accept that this is merely an oversight. The IEAJ has, for the past 11 years, played a significant role in shaping Ghana's trade ecosystem, advocating policy reforms, facilitating cross-border trade, and supporting government initiatives aimed at economic growth. Our association was also pivotal in supporting the bold trade and economic policy direction of the candidate Mahama prior to the elections. It is therefore surprising and disappointing that an association of our stature continues to be sidelined. We further find it troubling that this exclusion comes despite the fact that our executive secretary serves on the Presidential Committee on Accelerated Export Development, a clear recognition of our technical expertise and contribution to national trade strategy. Importers and exporters are central to the success of the AFCFTA framework, according to estimates by institutions such as the World Bank and United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. The AFCFTA has the potential to increase intra-African trade by over 50% through the reduction of tariffs and non-tariff barriers. Now, achieving this requires strong participation from businesses that facilitate the movement of goods across borders, build supply chains, and drive value addition roles that our members perform daily. Importers ensure access to critical raw materials, machinery, and intermediate goods necessary for industrial production, while exporters expand Ghanaian products into regional markets, enhance foreign exchange earnings, and support job creation. Excluding such a key constituency undermines the spirit of inclusive dialogue needed to realize the full benefits of the AFCFTA. And so there you have it from the IEAJ, who are quite concerned and bothered as to why they've been excluded twice from presidential dialogues. And according to them, they deserve to be in there, especially when their secretary is part of a presidential advisory committee. Thanks so much for joining us here.
Thank you.
Twice. What do you think? What would you say you think is the problem?
Well, a very big good afternoon to your cherished viewers and listeners. Are you not a Ghanaian? Are you not patriotic enough to wear?
No, my suit is Ghana made.
No, but it's supposed to be in Fugu. I know it's a Ghanaian made.
Give me one and I'll wear it next week. Give me one and I'll wear it next week.
That's a declaration from the government.
So you give me one and I'll wear it next week.
My brother, it's very surprising, indeed, and it's also laughable. It will be laughable to me out there by my peers. Mr. Sake has been one of the staunch support of the government from the opposition. The issues are raised. The confidence I had in President Mahama at the time he launched his manifesto and came to the Tema Port to meet the maritime trade. I spoke eloquently on issues bordering the maritime trade. And can you imagine that this engagement at this high level, where they have written directors of companies, CEOs, to come to such a dialogue, and the Importers and Exporters Association has left out capriciously. They are so sudden. Someone would say, Mr. Sake, but you are very close with the president.
That's actually my next question.
The truth of the matter is that, yes, I'm very close with the president, but the president has handlers, and the handlers should know this, that you are sending invitations out to associations, and you think that if you invite Gutta, that is it, and left us out. I am so saddened. And that is why that we have to issue this statement. I have called the Minister of Trade. I sent a message to the Minister of Trade herself. She couldn't respond. I'm sure she didn't see it. I've called her aide. The aide informed me that they were invited. I called Mr. Ado, who should be in charge of sending invitation to stakeholders. He was telling me long English, and yesterday I picked my phone to call Stan Dugwe, and I picked my phone, and he didn't pick. I called Ambassador Akins, who is the chief protocol to the president. He didn't pick. I've sent him a message this morning. I'm doing everything possible to make sure that this thing gets to the president. That I am deeply saddened that such an engagement. Look, if anybody supporting or touting the president's progress and achievement is Samson Asake, to the extent that I even sometimes, our last minute Minister of Trade will even ask his aide to inform me that Minister is going here, he needs you, and I will abandon whatever I'm doing and come over. You saw me with Minister of Trade in some markets and some businesses for visitations. All is to support, to make sure. Because if you look at 2024, before 2022, 2023, 2024, I was very highly disappointed in the previous government. So if it is a previous government that were holding such a meetings and say Asake was very vociferous and very volatile on us and will not invite me to their meeting, I have no qualms with that. But for this government, no. It happens in the first year, and I thought maybe because it was the first year, it was something that it was rushed. But with this year, look, just last Friday, I was at B5 when they were launching the fourth or the third phase.
Right.
Then even when I was acknowledged at the program, President Mahama even waved at me. He was looking at where I was. Even the Minister of Trade even informed the president that, look, Mr. Sake is one of the guys who's really working with all his heart and supporting the government. After President Mahama even left us at the occasion, I even went to minister and we had a tete-a-tete. Nobody tells me that Mr. Sake on Sunday, it was on Sunday, right? On Sunday, there is this meeting, there's this engagement at the presidency, and later it shifted to Kempinski. I was home when I saw it on TV. And I cannot just wake up and go to a program that you are not invited. It will be like you are gate crashes. I don't know. I can't phantom. I don't think if they will silence anybody from government. Look, not Samson Asake. And that's why I stated. I've been appointed. I'm serving in the Economic Export Accelerated Economic Committee with the president being the chairperson. And so at this such high level meeting, that I am the executive secretary of Importers and Exporters Association. I am in the board that is to talk of how business will grow in this country. Besides that, I led my party as a national chairman to declare for President Mahama or the NDC in 2024 election. So I wear so many caps that you can't, not something that you can easily forgotten like that in your mind. So we are at Importers and Exporters Association have expressed. And I have told my team that they should send same letter in the form of petition to the office of the president to let them know that yes, this is not something I should take to send a message to the president. This is something that should go formal, that we are registering our displeasure. The Import and Export Association, everybody knows. You know, I mean, who is in this country who doesn't know how vociferous this association has been since 2014 till date? Who doesn't know?
First of all, let me ask you this. Has there been any instance in this new administration that you've criticized government?
No,
Probably
but my
trying
duty,
to help them straighten up some
no,
policies.
but my duty is to if they do good, I'll look where I sit. I have a very clear guidelines as to how I do my work. If the government do good, I will say I'll praise the government. If the government do something that is not good, I will critique it. Just a week, 2 weeks ago, I issued a statement on Gold Board for doing a regulator and then a competition at the same time. And I said the self-financing guys has an issues with the Gold Board being a regulator and being a competitor. So they should stay within to be a regulator and allow the business for private entities to do. Then I also raise issues in regards to if they are knowing my customer takes them a longer time, due diligence taking them a longer time. Why can't they ask the business people to bring the funding to Ghana on escrow account? I also raise issue in regards to when the Gold Board and the self-financing people bring in their proceeds back, it takes a longer time for it to be released to them. I've raised issue. It's my duty to do that. Just yesterday, this issue that has come, I have raised an issue that we are not invited. I don't know why we are not invited. And today I have issued, I think, today too, I'm picking issue on the custom interception of the trucks at the Elubo or at the Akano that was coming to Ghana on the transit cargo. And I made it clear that Minister of Finance was misled. Yes, he was misled. And the issues that happened, I said, there was no there was no diversion. The cargo was never diverted. Ghana government, for that matter, customs, have a regime on transit. And so the cargo was route through Ghana.
We'll come there. We'll talk about that. Don't worry. You're going to talk about that. But I still want to stay on.
No, you're asking where that.
Yes.
And I'm telling you things that I have raised. Because I have to be very passionate on the issues. If they do good, I will praise. If they do wrong, I will critique and draw their attention. And that is exactly what I'm supposed to do.
Do you think probably you've been excluded because maybe you are already hitting them or hitting government?
Not at all. Not at all. I don't think so.
Your costs are not being picked. You are being given excuses. You don't think so?
Not. Just one person who who couldn't pick and send it. I told you that Stan couldn't pick, but Ambassador Akin sent a message, and I sent a message why I was calling them. And I told you what Mr. Ado told me.
What you said Mr. Ado was speaking long English. You didn't tell us what he said.
I mean, he's trying to say that it was a rush or something. And I said, no, I don't take that explanation. Because how you bring all these people to the place and you tell me that it was a rush, I don't take it. Or trying to say, the invitation was done at the presidency. Still, even when you listen to Mr. President's address, he said the meeting was carried by the lead officer, was the trade minister. And I told you on Friday I was with the trade minister.
Yes.
So I don't know what actually happened. So that has forgotten them that have they invited the Import and Export Association. And I'm saying maybe if someone is sitting there thinking that if they invite Guta, it covers all of us, it's wrong. Import and Export Association has been like this, an independent entity. You don't report to Guta, no.
But do you think those who are in charge of the invitations know that when they invite Guta, it doesn't include you?
Well, that is why I'm drawing their attention. That is why we are making this bold statement. That is why they know, and they should know better. And I'm sure the government, if they get to President Mahama, I'm sure he will tell them something. Because when he came to the port, he knows how the issues that are raised. They're very vital. You can play the video when President Mahama came to meet in 2024. Some of the issues, some of the things he is doing, we raise them adequately, eloquently, without fear or favor. And tell him that he will be the next president, not that if. We told him that he will be the next president. And if today, no. We cannot sweep it under the carpet. Someone may think, but you are very close with President. Yes, I'm very close with President, but this is official things. Those who are mandated to do the right thing must do the right thing.
So you've released a statement, hoping that government see it and probably call you for a discussion or probably invite you for the next dialogue.
Yeah, I'm sure they will do the right thing and the needful. And now that I told you that the letter will get to President, and I'll do everything possible to make sure the letter get to my protest or our protest get to the President.
What if nothing happens?
Oh no, I can assure you, that there will be positive result. And I can assure you that if Minister of Trade even realize that I am not happy, she will call.
Let's relate to your exclusion, to how probably things like the AFCFTA could be affected by your exclusion in this instant like meetings like this. How bad can it be for government or for the country if persons like yourself or your institution is excluded from such meetings?
Well, when they engage the president, they raise certain issues, isn't it? I can tell you, many of these people who were at the program, they are on my platform. Some of the things that I raise on daily basis is what they went to raise there. So it needs collaborative effort to support the government. And I'm not, even though raising our displeasure doesn't mean that we are running away from the government. We will still work. Even if the government decides to say they will not work with Import and Export Association, that doesn't stop us from continuing to critique the government where it's due and to praise the government where it's due. I am a professional person. I told you, I'm a maritime person. I deal with maritime issues. I deal with trade issues. That's why I don't jump to market issues when I buy another issue. No, I deal with the port. And I want us not to dwell on this too much. Can we discuss the other important thing that I have, which is the cargo that was...
we will discuss that, but this is also a main conversation as well. That's one of the reasons you are here.
Well, because of your time.
So we are definitely... No, we have time for you.
Thank you.
We have time for you. Don't worry at all. We are going to discuss it. I'm just trying to understand probably ways by which this could get to where he's supposed to get to. So you probably don't miss the next, dialogue.
I know once I issued a statement, anytime I issue a statement, it brings positive results. And I'm saying, right away from the Minister of Trade to the President, they won't be happy to hear that I was excluded and I wasn't in that meeting. And some positive result will come. I don't think if the President had knew that they did not invite me, he would have asked his team. If the Minister of Trade had knew that I wasn't invited, she would have asked her team. The Minister of Trade is somebody I've been supporting so much. She's working extraordinary. She's working so hard that she needs and I realize that she needs all of us our support. And we are supporting him. So I won't blame the minister. I won't blame the president. I blame their handlers.
Right. Let's now speak about one of the issues that is actually on your heart that you want to talk about so bad. I mean, the issue of the containers and all that. First of all, you're actually making a submission when I dropped it. You can...
Yes. So you saw that Custom have issued a statement since the declaration or the statement was made by the finance minister, declaring that over 85 or 82 million worth of cash that should have belonged to the state could have just gone to somebody's pocket, and he thinks that his officers have done something wrong. There was some diversion. Let me put it on place that the Minister of Finance was ill-advised. The Minister of Finance, I like him. When he became the minister, I have been there once. I've told him, myself, and my friend Teki Ado, you know Teki Ado, to tell him that, Honorable Minister, we are here. When he was in Parliament, he met me, Asake. He knows the capacity. And I told him that I am import. If there's any issues, you can call me. Why am I saying the Minister of Finance was ill-advised? One, Ghana, we are part of the transit regimes.
Right.
So the issue was purely custom operations error. We call it procedural errors. That was committed. But there was no any iota of diversion of cargo. Even though if the ministry had gotten, or if the GRA had gotten a whisper that this particular client is a high-risk client, importer, anytime he says, I'm taking cargo on transit, he end up selling them in Ghana, I will say that then this time around, the surveillance, they don't do the surveillance until when the crime was committing, then they arrest. There was no crime committed at the time this Hulu Balu came. And they put the whole country into tense that this is a whooping amount of money that have gone. What was wrong was that, one, if you are a professional custom officer, and this has to do with, it's not every uniform custom officer that understands custom operations. So there are operational issues. So these were purely operational issues that the Minister of Finance should have spoken to seasoned custom operational person to understand how the sector works. One, if we are to embark on transit, you need what we call authority from custom. So if I'm custom officer and a client brought me documentations, first and foremost, I need to know whether do you carry authority to do transit? Do you have the authority to do transit? 2, I have to look at the container. So if we were to be Temaport, but in this regard, the container was coming from Togo, Akano. So we do not know whether the container was coming from Togo port straight to Akano or it was loaded in a warehouse. But per my investigation, what it means is that the people were carrying only invoice. So if you are carrying only invoice, then this cargo probably was loaded in a warehouse somewhere in Togo. But if it were as usual custom demands, if the container was coming from like Temaport, you have to see as an officer who will work on it, you will have to look at the original bill of lading and if possible the master bill. That is the shipping bill. So the original bill of lading, what do you need to see as a custom officer? You need to look at the seal that came with the container. The seal number on the container will tally with the seal number you are seeing on the master bill of lading. Do you understand that? Or is it the same thing on the manifest, shipping manifest, or the master bill? Do you understand? Number 2, you will look at the container number that is on the track, because you know that that cargo is not cleared in Ghana. That goods is not supposed to consume in Ghana. So you cannot open it. So it means that the custom officer who's supposed to work on it there at the field there will have to see whether the container that is on the track is it the same number that is on the master bill or the bill of lading that came with it.
So, sorry to cut you, but let me just let me just help myself and viewers clarify something.
Yes.
So what you're saying is that even on the containers, the indications that tells you whether they're supposed to be here or not. It's supposed to be cleared in Ghana or not. Is that what you're saying?
If the container, if the cargo goods, let me use the word goods so that those who are listening.
Right.
Goods that are supposed to go to Burkina Faso, to Niger or to Mali goes on what we call transit. So assuming the importer had brought the goods through Temaport and to work on for transit, and the officer there to work on it, what you need to see as professional officer is to ask for the bill of lading and check the container that came through our port, assuming without admitting that the container is coming through Temaport for onward transit. Are you following the conversation?
Yes, I am.
The officer will have to look at the seal number, vis-a-vis the seal number that was put on the bill of lading. Whether is it the same or is broken and change a different seal. 2, the officer would have to look at the container number and see the bill of lading that he's carrying, whether the container number actually tally with what is on the bill of lading, or they got to port somewhere in the port and open and change a container number. And change your container. For that matter, the number is not tallying with what you see on it. So straight away there will be some eyebrows that maybe they've tempted with the container. 2, you have to see that, it is the one who's supposed to do the transit actually has authority to carry on this transit. Then on the master bill of lading, you will then see how the packaging were done. And you now look at the tax bill that they prepare, whether the HS code that they use are the correct attached to each commodity or not. And if the values that they raise for the person to pay the bond were actually done proper, or they were misdescription. So the original bill of lading would have tell you what are the commodities in it. Now, in this regard, this cargo wasn't coming from Tema. It was coming from Togo, routing through Tema to Kumasi, to Sunyani, to Tekchima, to Pulmakongo. So what it means is that if you are the officer at Akano there should have looked for these things. But the investigation is telling us that the people were not carrying any authoritative to do transit. Then the people were carrying only invoice. If you are carrying only invoice, what are the things that the customs officer was supposed to look at? You should look at the seal. You should also look at the same thing. and see whether if the values were done. If not, then they say, no, we'll revalue. So far as I'm aware, what it means is that even though he has worked on them, he has cleared them, they were coming, there was no any diversion. And even if there were any, if there were diversion here means that the person say, I'm going to Ulumakongo to cross to Mali and to Niger. But when they got to Tema, they brought somewhere and they started opening the seals and all that. Seals, the trigger that was placed on and started discharging. Then you can arrest. That means the motive of the person has secured. He has actually diverted the cargo.
Right.
But as I said, be as it may, as I said earlier, that even if the person will have a motive that if the goods get to Ghana, I will divert it, they actually do not divert when the diversion actually didn't take place when the arrest was made. I hope you are getting it.
Yes.
And the other way is that if you're working on transit cargo and it's high risk, like the oil and other things, you can give sometimes you may add fiscal escort. But in this regard, some years ago when GCN was coming, customs raised issues, and all of us we had the conversation that anytime there is a anytime there is an escort, fiscal escort, their officers, custom officers had accident, and some of them had amputated, some of them died out of that. So because of that, we introduce bond. So what it means that if I'm taking cargo to go to another country on transit, and the cargo did not end up in that country and got missing, then that means it's consumed in Ghana. So if consumed, then you must pay the requisite duties that should have been applicable to Ghana government.
Yes.
So in this regard, because it was on transit, I have taken insurance to cover, called bond, insurance bond. So they could, what is happening now is that they could only assess to see whether was there misdescription, were there misuse of HS code, did they actually assess them proper? Then if they will do reassessment, we can only raise the bond, but we cannot confiscate the goods as the Minister of Finance put out a statement that the goods will be confiscated. They cannot confiscate the goods because there was no any diversion in the first place. Then apart from that, if they reassess the cargo, we can only ask the importer to pay what we call the mandatory fees and charges. Because if you are going on, if the goods is going on transit cargo and not for country consumption, there are certain mandatory fees that you have to pay. And so maybe what the officer did at the account there, maybe the assessment could say pay 2 million, or pay 1 million, or pay 500,000. Then the person say pay 200,000. That one, when they do reassessment, you pay the difference.
Depending on how much money you may have paid earlier.
Then depending on how much money you have paid earlier, so that you release the cargo to go.
Yeah.
If you are going on transit and there's a problem on the way, and because you are going on transit, there's electronic tracker that we use in replace of fiscal escort, you inform custom that on the way this our track develop challenges. We do not want to break the seal and break the take of the tracker and start discharging to another. Then you say we are trying to divert. So you inform custom. Custom will have to send an officer to come and station to make sure that this thing is done. At the end of the day, then you all sign off and the cargo can go. So what I'm trying to say here is that it was just procedural error that was committed, and the only thing that we can see in this regard, it is the interdiction that we saw, that they were interdicting 4 people or so. But to say we will confiscate the cargo and sell, no. And even that $82 million or $85 million Ghana cedis that they are talking about, even if we should do the assessment, the intelligence I'm picking is not going to be, the amount will not be up to even 40 million Ghana cedis.
How much do you think it will be?
I'm telling you that I'm not going to give you all my tools.
Try and give me your tools. That's why you are here.
I am telling you that even if they, so that's why I said they misled the minister. And they made the minister put the whole country into tension. I'm trying to salvage the minister so that at the end of the day, tomorrow no one from any opposition anywhere will sit and come and say, Minister, you said the cargo that was arrested, the country could have saved the country 80-something million. Where's the money? And then you say they will confiscate it and sold. Have you sold it? How much have you realized? Or
if the minister said it, why are you, like you said, why are you trying to
you see, because this country, this country when issues of that sort come, you, the media too, are not helping. You will not speak to professionals to find out this issue that has come. And sometimes there are some professionals who also be scared to speak the truth. So they feed us garbage in, garbage out. And one of the things is what the minister was just ill-advised, and the minister said that it is, and everybody was shocked.
But if
and I just told you that, and that is why
the minister
the minister was ill-advised that there was diversion when there was actually no diversion. When there was actually no diversion, that's the truth of the matter.
But if the minister was,
there's only procedural errors.
If the minister was, like you said, I'm going to the word you used, ill-advised, and he came telling the entire nation what the situation wasn't, shouldn't somebody be held responsible? And I mean, that should be what we should be discussing, so it doesn't happen again.
So who will be held responsible? Who will be held responsible will be his officers, probably, who advise him ill and put him to dick. And I'm telling you, if I don't come out to demystify this thing, to explain the issue, I've also done some investigations. I've also spoken to some seasoned freight forwarders, spoken to some seasoned custom officers.
So this is your own perspective.
This is your personal perspective. I am a maritime person. To get the issue, and I'm saying that if you don't speak to it now, tomorrow someone will ask, has the goods so far been confiscated? The goods, and I'm saying by law, the goods cannot be confiscated. If Ghana government go to court today, will they win? If Ghana government go to court today, they will never win. We will lose the case. And I'm telling you, so what are the things that we can take to hold the importer? And I'm telling you that one is that the importer, did you have authority to carry on transit? That is where the government can get him. Two, when the goods was coming, were they on electronic tracking? Yes. Was there any diversion? No. Did they tamper with the ceilings? No. Did they open the container? No. Did they sway from the route that's supposed to go to different place? No. Until when the custom arrest, they do a custom delivery recover. Then they took them. I think they took they transit the cargo, developed some problem. They took him to, is it transit area also? So that is the only thing. The only thing we can do as a country at this point in time is to do reassessment. And I'm saying that even if they do reassessment, the only thing that we will see is the bond. So he will go and pay, if you had paid the premium of 1 million, maybe they will say the premium is more than 1 million. So the premium is about 3 million, go and pay. It's premium. That to say that if the cargo didn't get to Niger and got missing, Ghana government will go to SIC and take the duty component that is supposed to. So this 85 million, is it that when we sell the cargo, when we confiscate the cargo and sell, that will get 80-something million? Or if we assess for the person to pay duty, if you are supposed to pay duty, is it 82? And I'm saying if the cargo were to be assessed, the payment of duty will not reach 40 million.
It's the same way that the minister, spoke to us about this. Like you mentioned, he causing fear and panic, however I want to put it.
Yes.
Don't you think by now we should also be spoken to again by him?
Spoken to do what?
We should also be addressed again to the same channel. Like you are here trying to make us understand.
Well, I'm a maritime person. I'm at the port, and that is why I said, even these things that I'm speaking now, Mr. President should have said, let's invite Mr. Sake. Because when he came to the house, he knows. And I've told you that what we can only see, the only action we can see is the interaction of the officers. Why are they interacting them? They are interacting them because the officer working on that transit cargo should have looked for custom procedures, which they flout.
Exactly. Once we flout a rule, you're supposed to be held responsible.
Listen. See, the minister didn't say that the custom officers flout custom procedures. They said there were diversion of the cargo. And this could cost us to this amount, 80-something million Ghana cedis. And whoever is in there will be dealt with. He will take decisive decision. This was the words of the minister. And I'm saying that so far as Ghana custom regime or transit regime is concerned, the importer could have loaded in Togo and passed through Benin to Niger, which is SOTA, okay? The same thing, the importer has the right legally with custom regimes. Load in Akano and decide my route and say that I want to use Ghana as my landlord, my route to my country. For that matter, the officers in Akano should have looked at these things that I've made mention whether the said importer have authority to carry this commodity on transit. So the authority should come from where? Custom, he has to apply. Whether was he given that authority? Whether the container number is the same container number on the bill of lading, and I'm saying that you can, that one self is questionable because cargo come from Togo. We do not know whether it was come from Togo port or they went and loaded a warehouse somewhere in Togo. So in this regard, even if you're asking for original bill of lading, you may not get it because the cargo probably is reloaded in some. I bought it, so I can call for shipping line to give me a container to the warehouse. I have this 40 containers of goods, so give me 40 containers to load and go to Ghana. So the only thing that will accompany is the way bill and the instructions that his forwarder will send to custom to now work on before allowing you to go on transit. If the agent is sending the declaration, the agent there will now declare, oh, there is oil, is this, is tomatoes, is sardine, is that, the number of, and send. So the officer who now work will now know if it's tomatoes, what is the HS code to use? If it's oil, what is the HS code to use? If it's ingredients, what is the HS code to use? So if you realize that no, this one, it was ingredients, but the HS code that they've sent and we are using is not the right HS code. You, the officer, will have to amend or modify. You understand? Or ask questions. So if you see anything, you have to ask. Then when you finish, is it high risk? Yes, it is high risk. So did you collect the rightful duty mandatory fees and charges for Ghana government? Yes. Did you raise the correct bond for him to pay in case the cargo got missing and not gotten to Niger? So that Ghana government will have collected duty in that regard. Did you do the right thing? No, you didn't do the right thing. Did you give, even though you give the importer the electronic tracking device to go through Ghana to Puluma Congo, did you add fiscal officers because the goods are high risk goods? So this is the only place. And the only place in the whole is the custom officer.
Right.
But you cannot confiscate the goods.
Right. But when such informations are given and they are not the right information, especially something like this, how does it affect the country, especially clients who are willing to do import and export with Ghana or even outside and all that?
So one thing is that I would have loved that the security that were, you see, it wasn't for nothing that they were keeping surveillance. But what I'm saying is that they should have kept the surveillance to its conclusion.
I mean, all the way throughout.
To actually see that even if they do the diversion somewhere at Santo region or somewhere Sunyani, instead of passing to Chima to Tamale to go to Bolaga to go to Puluma Congo, and the person veer off to maybe Sunyani or veer off to the Kitampo somewhere and start open and discharging, then the reality is done on you. You could have even gotten those who are the interest party, because many people are benefiting anytime this cargo are going on transit and end up coming. Those who are, so you have gotten everybody.
The entire stakeholders in that particular, incident.
And dismantled it. But the security, they rush. So if government go to court based on what they told them, they will lose the case.
But could you also? I mean, I just want to find.
So what you can do? What we can do to help the country?
We go there, but I just want to find out. Would you also? Can you also say that probably security personnel may have been compromised financially and allow such things to happen?
No. So if anybody compromised, it's the officers who work on the commodity, thing that they were supposed to do, Finchim, that they didn't do. That's why they interdicted him. And I'm happy that they interdicted him. Two, the surveillance officers were not the people who work on it. So the surveillance officers should have exercised patience. When you say someone divert the cargo, because the cargo is going on track, driver details is taken, his license details is taken, car number details is taken, they put the tracker number details is taken, the seal on the container is taken, the container number is taken. No, so if they got to a place and they see that they've opened the seal, they've taken the tracker off, they open the container, they are discharging the container into different warehouse without inform. Remember, I told you that if you are on transit and your car develop problem and you want to change even track to load or container to load, you have to notify custom. I told you that.
Yes.
So if they were doing that without informing custom ahead, then that's a diversion. Then you can arrest. But so far as they were going, I would tell you that there was no diversion.
Let's not
we
talk
cannot
about...
use our laws. There's no law that can let us confiscate the goods. You cannot confiscate the goods.
Right. Let's not talk about what you were about to talk about, the fact that reforms and how probably we get affected by all these things.
So we need to give more training to our custom officers. Remember, transit cargo examination is different from cargo, when I say cargo, goods that are imported and to be consumed in Ghana. That we do internal examination. But in transit cargo, we do external examination because you do not open the container to actually know what was loaded into the container. Do you understand?
All right.
And so, but even though because it is done external, there is procedure the uniform officer was supposed to go through, satisfy. If you do not satisfy, he has his superior that would have informed the superior for them to flag something. Now, I think now that they have interacted the officers, we want to see the investigation come to a logical conclusion. They should come and tell us that the reassessment value will be actually 80-something million or not. We want to see that there should be more training to custom officers. And the next time, the minister should not rise to make statements in that premature manner because he wasn't properly technically advised. And I think that the minister should have seasoned custom officers to advise him. It was purely custom operations issues and nothing like diverting of cargo.
And
that's what I'm trying to say.
That is why you are needed at these meetings.
That's why I'm needed, because of this knowledge.
Let's not talk about one of the tragedies that hit the country just a few days or weeks ago, where tomato traders were attacked, Tiafo, on their way to get that tomatoes to sell. As we speak, the price of tomatoes have actually gone up.
Yes.
But as who you are, what can we do to stop all these things?
Well, thank you very much. Before then, let me also add my voice that my house within less than 1 week, I also buy credit worth of 1,000 cedis.
Every week?
No, this week, yeah.
How many deep freezers do you have? I mean, it'd be nice to ask these questions when somebody claims they have bought 1,000 or 1,500 and it's gone in 3 days.
Oh, my house, I think I have 2 freezers.
Okay.
I don't know whether they are deep freezers or I don't know the difference.
No, the deep freezers
they are big fridge.
Okay.
The one that you open, that big ones.
The one that you open up like this.
Yeah, the one that you open it this
that's
way.
A deep freezer.
Yes, they are big 2 deep freezers, and there are TVs as well.
How many TVs?
I think I have 1 TV in my hall.
Okay.
And I have a new house at the back that is also using the same meter, but it's only 1 TV that is using there.
Okay.
So I've not even moved to the new house yet. So.
How long does it last if you buy like a 1,000 worth of?
No, we bought 300, then they say it's gone, then buy 200, say it's gone, then they went back to buy, then they say it's gone, and I don't understand. So I was even telling that they should go and report that. So when I was coming, I heard the minister saying he had heard complaints about it, and I said, oh, that's good. We clap hands for minister. Now back to
the issue of the tomato traders.
My deepest condolences to the Brief family, those who lost their life because they were going to do businesses for living, and unfortunately this death occurred. As we speak now, we cannot say that because of the casualties, we will not do business with Burkina Faso. But my advice to our people is that we can also adopt another way of doing businesses. There are people sitting in Ghana here and they buy cargo from US, Germany, and the rest because of trust. They have developed the relationship with people there, and we send money and they buy and load and the cargo comes. Is that not it? Even if Ghanaian drivers say that we don't know the route very well, I'm sure Burkina Faso, as we speak, there's still cargo. Burkina Faso are taking goods from Ghana to Burkina, and they are bringing goods from Burkina to Ghana port for export. Is that not it?
Right.
Why can't we use them? So send the money by PAPS. Use the EcoBank and payment system. Just put the money at EcoBank and or any other bank that is also working within the African sub-region. Then you get to your client there. Then they load your cargo and send to you. That is another way.
So they don't necessarily have to jump on the car and go there.
Exactly. The other aspect, you see, every black person, especially Ghanaian, or now you say, that you have to build business built on trust. I'm sure by now you have friends that trust in you, trust them. When you give them money, they will not run away. Or even the suppliers. Do you understand?
I can't trust I can't trust Josh and the
Quite apart from that, I advise that then Ghana military and Burkina Faso military will have to do cooperation. So when they are going, Ghanaian escort to the Burkina side and the Burkina take them to the market. When they buy, they escort them, and when they go to our side, then we too take and bring it. Then we can deploy drones, because these people are very sophisticated, very fast, they can run. Right. So maybe we have to also deploy drones as well as the road escort. But to say we will not go to Burkina saying, I don't think, because as we speak now, and then the last but not the least, I think the Minister of Agriculture can also look for the breed. Because we go to I'm coming from the northern part of Ghana. So our land is bare as the same thing as Burkina Faso land. In winter, the weather is still the same thing. Can they get the breed, the kind of seed that they are using there, to bring it to introduce the northern part and increase the irrigation farming so that we can produce more tomatoes?
Hasn't it taken too long
That is the way to go, my brother.
Done?
Yes, that's the way. That's the only way. If you ask me my candid opinion, this is what I can advise. It's rather unfortunate that they passed away. I've heard somebody saying that the Minister of Foreign Affairs should have done what? No. Was there any flag? Was there any red flags that was raised? Was there any security alert and we allow it? Something happened in Mexico. I've heard the Minister of Foreign Affairs have issued a statement.
Right.
Sometimes the embassies also, Ghana, America some time ago, America issued a statement like that, asking its citizens not to travel. Is that not it? So, and the embassies will also be active and then working. So, for me, I think that you cannot blame the government and you cannot blame John Mahama. And someone also said that if the previous government had done the Palago Tomatoes multi-purpose dam, the people wouldn't have gone to Burkina Faso a lot. But the point is, we are even trying to do after African Continental Free Trade. We will continue to trade among each other. It doesn't matter if the multi-purpose dam were built or not, or if we are producing tomatoes in Ghana to certify ourselves. There are certain commodities that we will take to go to Burkina will bring it. Because under African Continental Free Trade, we are supposed to trade among each other and free movement of persons and goods. Is that not it?
Yes.
So, and after, we will definitely trade among ourselves. So, we can only talk about joint military corporations to make sure that they keep our borders safe.
I was about to ask you, man, how do we keep this after work? And if there are a lot of bandits in the sub-region and all that.
So people who are shallow-minded that will come and talk. Where I sit, I learn on the job. I understand. I did port and shipping operations, so I understand some of the issues. I want to advise to your colleagues, media, when issues of that sort come, please reach out. Remember when the first government came, when President Mahama government came, the energy minister said about 3,000 containers got missing at the port.
Right.
And it was a huge news. You know that there was even over 10,000 containers sitting at the port.
And that's why I was talking to you about some of the information and how we can curtail it.
And you see, you should ask yourself, in business, we have Incoterms. In the trade, we have something called Incoterms.
Incoterms.
The agreement, the contractor agreement between. If Minister of Energy give us like a contract, was I pre-financed? Did they give me pre-financing? No. What does it bring it? So place of the cargoes to get to, where? What does the contract? Maybe the contract says, okay, bring it to our port and we take the responsibility. If the cargo arrives in your port, landed in your port, and you have still not paid me, and they say, pay me before you take the goods, and you do not pay me, and I get a third person who will buy even more than what you are buying, I have the authority to sell, because at that time, the original bill of lading is still in my name, not in your name. You have not paid me a penny, so I cannot give the goods to you.
Absolutely.
So the person can sell. How do they get to know that some container went to this place, this Chinese company, some containers went there? Where is the report to date? So when it comes like that, and the politicians, doesn't understand the issues, how the port operate, how the operation is done, and they make fear and panic statement, you reach out to people like us to talk to. Before even I will come and speak, I would have spoken to 3, 4, 5 people, get certain facts before I even come to speak. I don't get speak because I know that at any point there is an element of investigation. We need to know what actually transpired. Did this actually transpire? And if it transpired, what is the rudiment? So if you ask me, I'll tell you, custom need reforms. The guys have to do reforms and do retraining, refresher training. Let the people understand. And this will come to serve us right. But, Honorable Minister, when issues come of that sort, don't rush to make statements. Maybe you can let your deputy minister go and make those statements. Then you come and do the damage control. But for yourself, I respect you. I like you. You've shown that you are courageous.
That he's working, so he has to come out and speak. So we know that he's
No. He was ill advised, and I don't want him to be embarrassed. And I don't want his PS to ask him, where is the money tomorrow? You say 80-something million. Where is the money?
You think
and have you seized the container? Have you sold it? How much has the money realized? And I told you that what I the intelligence all that I've gathered, they cannot confiscate it. They cannot sell it. If they go to court, they will lose.
But I think this question will still be posed to the minister.
But the reforms need to be done.
But what I'm telling you is that I think these questions will still be posed to the minister, because that's what we've been told.
Okay, I've demystified it and I've made it the conversation better for someone who doesn't understand how this work at the ports.
Right. Thank you so much for coming. We're grateful. And I'll be here with Samson Asaki Awingobit, who is Executive Secretary.
If you can let me add this, just 20 seconds or whatever. What should I say? Even goods that are imported into Ghana to be consumed home, we call it home consumption, Ghana, and the importer arrive in Ghana and give his bid of lading, his packing list, his way bills to his agent, and the agent does the
entry
declaration to custom. The officer sitting at STB, custom head office, to work on the BOE, the tax bill for you to go and pay. He's working based on what the agent sent to him. He didn't actually see the goods or the cargo that he's working on. And that is why, or the quantity that he has declared. And that is why, after the tax bill comes and you go and pay the shipping lines, terminal handling charge and other things, and you then go to the field to take the container, they drop the container, they open it, and they examine it.
So do they.
And that is why there's another officer there with book. You see them with book with their red pens. They are trying to take stock to compare what you declare on the BOE and what they are seeing. If they see the quantities doesn't tally, if they see that the officer who work on it use wrong agent's code, it's because the agent didn't give him correct prescription or description of the commodity. Then he would, and that is why sometimes they will call an importer and say there's stock collection. There's penalty.
Okay, penalty.
Do you understand? So there's stock collection different from penalty, because the stock collection, one, you pay the stock collection and you pay penalty for deceiving the public officer.
The declaration was wrong.
Because the quantity is 2,700 package, and probably the agent went and declared only 2,000. The 700 the custom of the field officer see, and that is why sometimes they will call that let me advise importers. If you bring your cargo to the port and you are giving your documentation to your agent, please tell your agent what you have. Tell him to declare all the quantities. And if the duty come and the values they raise it high, come to importers and exporters association. We will lead you to custom to go and tell them, no, this is the person values. Why are you giving this values? That one. But if you go and tell your agent, don't declare or do something about it, and later they catch you, then they say importers are thieves. There are compliance importers.
Right.
They are important in this country that if as they pay their duty, they declare according to what they bring and they pay and they go. And they are very highly compliant.
Thank you. You said 30 seconds, but it's almost like 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Samson Asaki Awingobit is Executive Secretary for Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana. And they are demanding answers over exclusion from presidential private sector dialogues and also addressing issues of diversion of containers here and there. Thanks so much for coming. I'm grateful. Come back. Let's do more conversations. Don't go nowhere. Stay with us here on the show. After the break, there'll be one last conversation for you. Stay with us.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ampedu.
Good afternoon, Mr. Asare.
How is business doing?
My business is collapsing.
Why is your business collapsing?
I sold my products and services to my clients on credit, and my debtors are not paying their debts.
Have you heard of Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company operating in all the 16 regions of Ghana?
Not at all.
Mr. Ampedu, all you need to do is to contact them on their customer service line. I recommend Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company to financial institutions, businessmen and businesswomen, other companies, and also individuals. Rosic Consult has 98.4% debt recovery rate. We have professional debt recovery managers. You are assured of swift debt recovery. No recovery, no commission. For Rosic Consult Limited, no more write-offs. And we pre-finance the recovery ourselves.
We are changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high. Dare to dream with Puma drinks. Yeah, believe it, you can achieve. Oh yeah, clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make me set the place. Oh yeah, come alive. Let me hear you.
Puma Drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advert is FDA approved.
Chinyia pata mobaminole. Amyobatere milolo. Ashino kubeli bashe wate just mo mopapo.
Osmolelo.
Me twin jolly tentawo.
Twin jolly. Yene kashiane.
Shiani mo punyo mu.
And thank you for staying with us here on the show. This is Good Afternoon, Ghana. From our studios here as Regional Accra, the Kia Bohima studio. I'm now joined on phone by head of corporate affairs for National Road Safety Authority, Simbiat Radio. I hope I had him correct. And she is joining us on phone for a conversation. Ghanaians urge to adhere to road traffic laws. I believe this should be in conjunction to some, issues out there when it comes to road accidents here and there. I mean, it's becoming increasingly dangerous. But yeah, you have it on your screen. A quick one here on your screen. Giving us provisional national road traffic crashes and casualties for January to December 2025, 2024 compared. I remember we spoke about this earlier when the gentleman from accident victims was here. When it says cases reported as at January to December 2025 stood at 14,743. January 2024 was at 13,489. Change compared was 9.3%, and you can see it's running through the entire thing, all about the increase there. So I'm going to be speaking to her for a quick understanding of what exactly advice or what are they telling the Ghanaian public when it comes to issues of this nature. Thank you so much for joining us here this afternoon. We are grateful.
You're welcome.
Great. Now you are urging Ghanaians to take road traffic laws seriously. Why the need for this call at this point in time?
Okay, so we are aware that a lot of incidents, road traffic incidents, are being recorded right from the inception of the year, and as concerned citizens as we are, and as the issue of road traffic crashes leads to societies and families and the country at large, we all are concerned about the rise in the trend. And so it's only fair that we will call on Ghanaians to appreciate what goes on the road and be responsible road users to ensure that we all are safe whilst we use the road. And it's been road traffic, road safety behavior, road safety being a behavioral issue, being an attitudinal issue. It's only fair that we keep drumming home the need for everyone to be safe on the road, for the need for all of us to appreciate what goes on the road to ensure that we all stay safe whilst using the road.
Back in the day, you see persons like yourself in schools like primary, SHS, universities, speaking to children, students, teachers, as to how we should manage ourselves when we are probably on the road, whether we are vehicle users or we are just, pedestrians. We hardly see that of late. What is happening? Don't you think these are some of the things we should go back doing to ensure that the people out there are getting the, right information from the right people like yourselves?
Yes, it's fair that we start the road safety culture. We imbibe it in our kids right from the basic levels. And so the National Road Safety Authority has developed a lot of strategies in that regard. For example, the road safety curriculum in our educational system, right from the basic to the secondary level. Also, we have textbooks that are examinable in the basic education certificate examination, the BECE. So children right from kindergarten up to JSS learn about road safety in, I think, one of their courses. So that has been done. Aside that, we've produced road safety textbooks for schools and teachers' guide, road safety textbook and teachers' guide for basic schools. And so we have one for JSS and one for primary. So that's also done. Aside that, we have TLM and we have educational schedules for basic schools across the country. So in a year, we engage more than 10,000 students in a year. And so that's one of the things that we are actively doing as an institution. So if you ask about us imbibing the culture of road safety in our cases being done at the authority. Yes, and I agree perfectly with you.
I mean, after all these efforts, we still record all these numbers. I've just been told by a colleague that just yesterday, around the Jolu Junction, there was an accident where about 19 persons got injured and 2 persons died. It looks like the numbers keep increasing regardless of your education. What exactly are we not doing right as a people?
All right, so I mentioned road safety being a behavioral issue, being an attitudinal issue. So aside all the laws, aside all the education, when it comes to using the road as any category of road user, it has to be with your judgment. It has to be with your discretion to either decide to reduce your speed, either decide to use the right side of the road whilst walking, or the right point when you intend to cross the road. And so, in as much as the institutions are there to ensure that we are safe, it also falls on the individual road user to ensure that he is taking the right decisions whilst he's in the road, and then he's ensuring his safety on the road. And so, drivers, we keep drumming home the need to reduce speed, that speed kills. A driver knows the speed limits all right and all the laws and penalties that go with it, but for the behavior to change, for the attitude to change, that's how come we keep drumming home, because road safety has got to do with the human attitude and behavior. And so it's an issue that it takes a long time to solve, and we haven't relent on our efforts to ensure that we are putting the right activities and strategies to solve them.
All right, thank you so much. We come back to you. I mean, the first quarter of the year has been quite a lot, and I'm going to be telling viewers or giving viewers some of the figures that you've actually recorded so far, which has been really scary and disturbing. But let me say thank you so much for speaking to us. Madam Sambiat Redu, who is head of corporate affairs for the National Road Safety Authority, for speaking to us on such disturbing issues as to the numbers that keep going up concerning road safety issues, accidents here and there. Just yesterday, you know that 2 persons died. 19 of them got rescued, but in fatal, multi-vehicle collision near Fiesta Royal Hotel around the Jolu area. And 2 dead as a taxi rams into truck on Dropon Road. 4 dead, others injured in gory accident at Ewuku Breku. Haruna Idrisu, the one we heard, Haruna Idrisu with Mohammed Saparu, surviving road crash in Bolgatanga, Tumu Road around the Sisala East constituency, and also 1 dead, 3 injured in Juapon, Bonsu, and Kwanta Road, and also in Sawam, Accra Road fuel tanker explosion. Just this morning on the Tema motorway, there was something happening there. One of the reasons why there was huge traffic. You know, a tipper truck head somewhere, it's just a lot. So as we go out there, every single time as you step out, let's be extra careful. Whether you are driving, whether you are a passenger, whether you are just using the road as a pedestrian or driving the bicycle or other driver. Listen, I mean, I traveled somewhere a few days ago, and in the vehicle, it's a public transport. You know, 2 women were seen sitting in front of the car with the driver. And they were asked to leave where they were seated and go behind the driver because they may engage the driver in some unnecessary conversations that may end the driver not, paying attention. Which one or the other was right. It may sound very funny, but it was right. You know, the woman actually understood and left where they were seated, came back to join the rest of the people who were, in the vehicle. And they really understood. You know, I mean, we want to have conversations and all that, but let's be careful and circumspect in some of these areas. And so thank you so much for watching us here today. As you go out there, be extra careful. That's the only message I can give here on the show. As you step out there, be careful and watch yourself and protect yourself from many other that may happen. Thank you so much for watching the show here this afternoon. I am Bryce Nanako, and we've been live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on X, on DSTV channel 277, also on radio 94.1. Have a good afternoon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
In a world on the brink of an environmental crisis, where untreated waste chokes our rivers, suffocates our land, and pollutes our environment, where the rapid increase in urbanization and population across the African continent underscores the urgent need for a more sustainable approach to waste management. Amidst this chaos, a beacon of hope emerges, a place where innovation meets determination, where sustainability is a way of life. Welcome to the forefront of the battle against